The Silver Ballerina, Part 1. Chapter 7. The sun rose higher as I crashed through the underbrush. Anxiety rose in my throat. Shouldn't I be there by now? I thought. The bird hadn't flown that long. Finally, I saw something shining up ahead. It was a fence. Was it my fence? It had to be. I ran towards it, squeezed inside, and dashed forward. The trees gave way to an open yard. I had no heart, but my stomach felt the drop anyway. It wasn't my yard or my house. The bird must have taken me farther than I thought. I sighed. My house should be on the other side, I thought. I had to keep moving. I started across, but a realization made me hesitate. This yard wasn't overgrown like my yard. The grass was trimmed neatly to the roots, and there were no bushes or weeds. I would be out in the open. The bird might find me and kidnap me again. I had to stick to the trees and go around. I moaned in frustration and took off running again. At least the open space wasn't as large as my yard. It was still large. The sun rose higher and the day got hotter. Even in the shade, I could feel my metal body growing warm. I kept on running. I didn't dare stop. Soon, I found myself nearing the other side of the house. The sight of it gave me a spur of energy, and I ran faster. Suddenly, the ground trembled under me. A second before it reached me, I saw a huge creature galloping across the yard toward me. I dove for the tree roots. From my hiding place, I saw the beast slow to a walk. It was a dog. A big golden-brown dog with pointed ears and white paws snuffled through the grass and leaves. It's okay, I told myself. It's okay. Dogs can't hurt you. They can't hurt you. It stopped in front of me. I didn't move. It tilted its head and stared at me in curiosity. It didn't seem to know what to make of me. It looked friendly, though. Maybe, I thought, it was obedient too? It began to sniff at me. No, I said firmly. It jerked its head back. No, I said again. Bad dog. Go back. Shoo, go back. It barked at me. The noise hit me like thunder. I clapped my hands over my ears, my eyes slammed shut, and I bowed under the blast of air. The stupid dog kept barking and bouncing around me. Perfect, I thought. You made it freak out. Way to go. Bongo! The voice rang out above the barking. What's wrong? Did you find something? I snapped into position on instinct and toppled over. A human-shaped shadow darkened my vision. A hand picked me up. Silly dog, said the voice. It's just a figurine. What are you barking for? The voice belonged to a woman like Mary Jane, but she was older. There were lines and wrinkles in her face, and streaks of gray in her black curly hair. The woman examined me for one long minute. Then she called for the dog and took me into the house. She washed me and put me on a towel to dry. I lay there while she and the dog went about their business. Only when night came and she was finally asleep did I bury my face in the towel and break into hard sobs. A whine snapped me out of it. Bongo, the dog, was looking up at me with a guilty expression, like he was saying, "I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry anyway." I didn't have the heart to be angry with him. "It's okay," I whispered. "It's okay. You're a good boy. It's not your fault." I took some deep breaths and calmed myself down. I had to get out of there. Whether it got me caught or not, I had to get out. The back door was right across from me. The doorknob was handle-shaped and locked, but the deadbolt wasn't. I didn't know how I was going to reach it, but I had to try. There was a mat underneath the counter. If I landed on it, and the dog didn't get in the way, it would soften the blow. I jumped. I bounced on the mat and landed on my hands and knees. Bongo skittered away. "Good dog," I said. The kitchen floor was tile with grout, the same as Mary Jane's kitchen. I walked on the grout to the doormat and examined the door. There was no hole in it for me to slip through, and no handholds for me to climb. I needed a rope or something. I turned to search the house, but halted. Bongo sat by the counter, tilting his head at me, as if to ask, "What are you doing?" A light bulb went off in my head. "Come here, Bongo," I said. "Come here, boy." He made a confused noise. "Bongo, come here," I said. "Come, Bongo." He hesitated, but he came like I asked. "Good boy," I said. "Good boy, come here. Now sit." He sat. His head was right under the doorknob, just where I needed him. "Stay," I said. "Stay, Bongo. Stay." I circled around behind him. He turned his head to watch me. "No," I said. "Stay, Bongo. Stay." I climbed his back as gently as I could. He whined, clearly uncomfortable, but too well trained to disobey. "It's okay, Bongo," I said. "Stay." I reached his head and stood up. I judged the distance. I braced myself. I leaped for the handle. I caught it with both arms and wrapped my legs around it. I pushed at the lock. It came undone. The handle dropped. The door swung open. Bongo barged through, knocking the door into the wall. I clung to the doorknob until the door drifted back over the doormat. I dropped onto it and quickly followed Bongo outside. I flew down the steps and onto the ground. I kept on running, ripping through the grass towards the trees. I was free again. Bongo rushed past me and waited for me a few feet ahead. "I'm coming, Bongo," I called. Ray raced to the trees. Bongo lost interest and wandered off to explore. I continued running and didn't slow down until I reached the fence. I slipped through. This was it. This had to be it. A soft woof made me turn around. Bongo was gazing after me with large, sad eyes. I went back and reached through the fence. He lowered his head and I scratched his chin. "I've got to go home, Bongo," he said. "You should go home too. Your human will be worried about you." I started to leave. Bongo didn't. "Go home, Bongo," I said. "Go home." "Bongo!" Bongo's human yelled from the house. "Where are you? Bongo!" Bongo took off. I smiled after him. He really was a good dog.